And no, I didn't forget about the desk and everything on it, but you'll just have to check out that video next week. Check out that video next week.
Check out that video next week. Check out that video next week.
I can explain. I was gonna do the studio tour video, film some stuff on my desk while doing that, and then do the desk tour video the next week. That was the plan. It was gonna work out easy peasy, but that's not what happened. I did that studio tour video because I knew that the next week I was going to be moving. And like the procrastinator I am, I waited until the day before the movers came to film the desk tour video. Go to turn on my computer and the motherboard's dead. I tried to fix the motherboard and that just was not happening. I had to order a new one. So I wait for the new one to arrive, I install it, I get set up to film the video, and then I get a call from the painter who I hired to come and paint the new studio.
Just checking if we can start tomorrow.
He wants to know if he can come by early. So then for the next week or so, I had to wait until he was done painting the walls and replacing the floor in here. Remember in the last video when I said this? I am lazy. Or what about this? I have difficulty finishing tasks. Yeah, it's been tough. Unpacking, setting up the new studio, doing all the other stuff that you have to do when you get a new home. Apparently there's a lot of stuff, but those are all excuses and I don't like making those. So I'll just say, I dropped the ball. I've been gone for a little bit and I learned a valuable lesson in not announcing things in videos that you aren't prepared to do right away. But now I'm mostly set up and I feel like I'm at a place where I can start making videos again. So, you wanna see my desk? I'm gonna show you my desk. I've had a lot of time to think about how I wanted to show you my desk in this video, and this is what I came up with. Now, I think that this is a little different from a lot of the desk tour videos that I've seen in the past, and it's definitely different from my normal video. So if you like this, well then let me know in the comments, and if you don't, well then let me know in the comments, but just lie to me and tell me that you like it anyway. Now, this is a setup that I have come to after a long time of just kind of trying different things and figuring out what works for what I do here at this desk. This desk is a reflection of what's important to me, whether that means that I'm gaming or streaming or editing or other stuff. Now, I guess a good place to start would be the desk itself. This is an uplift standing desk and I absolutely love it. I've had it for a really long time and it just suits my needs so perfectly. It's really wide at 72 inches, I think, and it also is very deep, so I can put a bunch of stuff on here, but still have space to keep my arms, you know, on the desk fully. This desk is really sturdy because I have a ton of stuff here clamped to the desk or sitting on top of the desk, but it can still adjust up and down from standing to sitting, and recently I put it on some wheels so I can move it around. In this new home that we're living in, I have a lot more space, so the desk is pulled away from the wall, so if I want to get back there and change different things, I don't have to slide in between the desk and the wall, I can move it around. I also have my cable management on point for now. This desk has a really cool feature underneath it. It's a big Velcro pouch, and you can put all your cables in there, Velcro it up, and they're out of the way. And it just looks nice, but mostly it's just really easy. In addition to all of these different features, I also added an uplift drawer here. So this is just mounted underneath, and this is like a junk drawer for me. It's things that I use all the time. It's not really organized, as you can see, but it's a place for me to keep things off of my desk, but still accessible and close by. So it's messy, you don't need to look at that. On top of the desk, I have a Grove-made desk mat, which is this felt desk mat. It's really large, and I like it because it separates the black desk from my black mouse pad, which is also a Grove-made mouse pad, but it's a collaboration with a really nice, really fancy, really expensive keyboard company called Key Colt. Now, if I don't want to do something so monochromatic and, you know, simple, I have a ton of desk mats. I just kind of pick them up whenever I see something cool, so I can change out the look of my desk or the color of my desk whenever I want to, depending on how I feel. Grove-made sent me a lot of these desk items. This is not a sponsored sponsored video by Grove Made, but I do have an affiliate link, so if you like the look of this stuff, well then check out that link below, and it would help out the channel. On top of my mouse pad, you have the keyboard and mouse, obviously. The mouse that I'm currently using is the Logitech Super Light Pro. It's like the G Pro Wireless, but super light, and it is indeed super light. But when I'm not gaming, I use the Logitech MX Master 3. It's kind of like a do-it-all workhorse. It has a lot of functionality, a lot of customizability. You can customize it, so that's pretty cool. That brings me to my keyboard, something that I'm very proud of and very stoked about. A good friend of mine, Max, made this on his stream. You should check him out, link below. Now, this is the Cyber Voyager Space 65 in the Unit 01 colorway. It's obviously inspired by Neon Genesis Evangelion, and if you couldn't tell by my sweater and by the figure sitting here, I'm a huge fan of the series, but I love the purple-green colorway and how this came out. This is GMK Terminal. The switches are a lubed Holy Panda, and these are not the remake Holy Pandas. These are original Holy Pandas. I love the way that these switches feel. They're tactile, they sound beautiful. I don't know, I can't get enough of OG Holy Pandas. I've always been a huge fan of Artisans. It's just such a cool little collectible in a way to separate your keyboard from, you know, the others that look similar. These are handmade by different artists, if you don't know what Artisans are. What I really like about this is that it is functional art. It's something that I can really admire and be proud of, but it's also something that I use every day. Connected to this is a custom cable by a friend of mine called Orbit Cables, and he really killed it with this. I had an idea to make a cable that was inspired by Neon Genesis, and more than just being purple and green, I wanted it to look like the cable that's attached to their backs, and I wanted this connector here to look like the entry plug. So really happy with how that turned out, and I'll probably do a video just on this keyboard if you guys are interested in that. So let me know, I'll do a sound test, things like that. Moving on from there, we have audio. I have two audio setups, which is kind of unusual, but one is for off stream and the other is for while I'm streaming. The on stream setup is going to be going through the Go XLR, which is something that I use daily. It makes separating my audio for stream so easy. I love the tactile feel of having actual faders to control different things. There's 4 physical faders which are mechanical, and you can see that as they move, but there are also additional software faders that you can send audio to. It has a voice modulator, it has a sampler, and it makes audio so easy. The headphones that are attached to this is the base station for it, and they are the Arctis Pro Wireless. I don't particularly love the way that these headphones sound, but I use them for functionality. They're wireless, and they're one of the few wireless headsets that I know of that can work with the Go XLR, and they're just super convenient. They don't sound bad, but I've kind of grown to dislike certain things about them. What I really like about them though is that the battery pack that you use for the headphones, it comes with 2. So one of them is sitting in the charger all the time charging, and when this one dies, I just pull that out, put it in, take this one out, start charging it. The transition between dead battery to full battery is very quick, and it just makes things super convenient. I never have to connect the cable to this or charge it somewhere else or stop using it. It's a good system. I just wish they sounded a little bit better. Underneath the desk, there is a headphone holder from GMMK, the Glorious Mechanical something or other, but it's the Trident. It just sticks underneath the desk, and it's a convenient out of the way spot for me to store my headphones. Now that's my on-stream setup. My off-stream setup is a little bit fancier. These are some headphones that I recently had custom made by a company called Rawson Audio. These are the Rad Zero. They are planar magnetic headphones, and they're completely custom made. Aside from just sounding amazing, which is obviously the most important part about headphones, they look so cool. These are custom resin cups, and I picked the color, I picked the style of like swirl, you know, I added different things to make them a little sparkly. This grill is custom powder coated as well, but that being said, I usually don't talk about these too much because I always get asked immediately, how much were they? And they were expensive. They were super expensive, but this was a treat yourself kind of thing that I got because I really wanted some headphones that I enjoyed listening to, and I couldn't be happier with them. They're sitting on a Grove-made headphone stand, which looks super nice as well. And when I connect it to the amp in the DAC, I'm using this custom cable that was also made through Rawson Audio. This cable is a balanced cable, and it is made to match the headphone colorway, and it is so cool. You have the purple and gray, the aqua and gray, and then when it combines, you have the mixture of both. It's super unique looking, and it just kind of adds to the whole custom look of these headphones. Like I said, they're plugging into an amp and a DAC. The DAC that I'm using is the SMSL SU9. The amp that I'm using is the SMSL SH9. This is a really nice audio DAC amp stack, and I just couldn't be happier with this. It looks good, sounds good, I love it. When I'm not using those headphones, I tuck the cable away in here into the Grove-made desk shelf. And I think that this thing is so helpful and looks really nice. The wood sets itself apart from the black desk and the gray desk mat. And it just gives me so much real estate, but it keeps things in reach. So it's all in front of me. This desk is really wide, but I don't want things way out here. I want to be able to just adjust things on the fly. And this allows me to do that without taking up more desk space than I need to. I can also just tuck my keyboard underneath the shelf if I need more space in front of me to do things like build a model, which I did recently on stream. I built this little figure. That's new. I don't know if it's gonna stay there, but for now, I'm proud of it and it looks cool. So I'm really happy with the shelf. It was something I was a little unsure of at first, but it works out. It also has this sliding tray here, which I just keep some stuff in here that I want close by. I don't know, I'm not sure yet what I want to keep here and how this stuff is different from the stuff that's in this drawer here, but for now it's just more storage space, and that's always a good thing. And it looks really nice with the shelf since it was made for the shelf. Continuing on with some other Grove-made products, these are some planters, and this is a little tray if I have little things that I want to throw in there. I really like having some green, like greenery, some outside and the inside. These are just some succulents. We named these actually. This one, because of what it looks like, we named Vegeta. And then this one, we couldn't come up with a name for. And that actually brings me to the giveaway for this video. I want you guys to help me come up with a name for this. There's gonna be a link below, and we're gonna be giving away one of these light bars, which I'm gonna talk about next. So enter that, and whatever you put as the name for this, and if you win, that's what I'm gonna name that guy. So, like I said, the BENQ light bar, this is the SCREENBARPLUS, and it's something I got kind of recently. And it's funny because after I bought it, I got an email from BENQ saying, hey, would you like to try our new light bar? I had already purchased it, so I figured instead of sending it to me, how about we do a giveaway? Check out the link, like I said, and enter for that. But let me tell you about it. It's controlled by this little device right here, sits on top of your monitor, and it just creates some light for your desk. It doesn't create a glare on the screen, which is something that I thought was going to happen, and it doesn't. There's two functions on here. You can adjust things manually, so I can adjust the brightness and I can adjust the warmth, but I can also press this button here and it's going to select a color temperature and a color brightness that it thinks is appropriate for the current light in the room. It's really convenient. When it's dark in here and I want some light, but I don't want to turn on the lights, that creates a really beautiful, just kind of desk-focused light. I've really been enjoying it. Right over here, we've got the microphone. So this is a Rode mic stand, and on the end of it is a Shure SM7B. It's a pretty standard microphone for streaming and for podcasts and stuff. It's a dynamic microphone, so it's not gonna pick up a bunch of noise in the room, which is always nice. And I think it sounds fantastic, so long as you EQ it and do some stuff. Beneath that, this is an Amazon Echo Show 8. It's kind of just here because we moved into this new home and I've been doing a lot of stuff to make this a smart home. So I have smart lights, I have a smart fridge, I have a smart TV, I have Ring cameras. All of it is controlled through Amazon Alexa. This allows me to monitor and control a lot of those things from my desk. Since I'm downstairs and the front door is upstairs, I want to be able to know if someone's here, if package gets delivered, or anything. I want to know stuff about my house, and this helps me do that. So that kind of covers a lot of the accessories on my desk as far as I know. Oh no, actually I forgot something. This is the Elgato Stream Deck. So the Elgato Stream Deck allows me to customize different buttons and different folders to control all sorts of things on my computer, but I mostly use it when I'm streaming. So I can just press one button here and I have it programmed to bring up a bunch of different stuff. Everything that I need to open when I stream. So it opens up OBS, my stream manager, and then it also opens up another tab for Epidemic Sound, which is what I use for all the music in my stream and my YouTube videos. And it's also gonna allow me to switch between my two different cameras and the different scenes in OBS that I have set up when I'm streaming. So super helpful, and I don't know how people stream without them. Like I just said, I have two cameras. They're definitely overkill for streaming, but I have them for YouTube, so I figured I want to get the most out of my purchase. I use them for streaming as well. This is the Canon EOS R5, and currently it has a 35mm f1.8 lens attached to it. This is the Canon EOS R, and it usually has my wide angle 15 to 35, but I just have a different lens on there right now. This camera is connected to my desk via one of the Elgato arms that just clamps to the desk. This one is connected to my desk using a Manfrotto Magic arm and an Impact Super Clamp. Now, the monitors I've messed with these monitors so much. There's so many different variations that I've tried, and right now, this is what works best for me. You have the vertical monitor for chat and OBS. You have this monitor, music, and for a browser window. This is the ideal kind of setup for me right now. It's not the most ergonomic because it takes a lot of turning my head, but it works out. These two monitors, Acer and Acer, I guess. Honestly, if it didn't say it on there, I couldn't tell you what brand these monitors were. These were just cheap 27-inch monitors. I don't know, I don't really care. I don't need them to be nice. I'm not doing anything important on them. The main monitor, however, is something that I've had for a few years, so I think this model is discontinued, but it is another 27-inch. It's 1440p, 165 hertz refresh rate. I don't remember the model number. Agon AG271QG. I don't know how they decide to name monitors, but it is not very user-friendly. That's the current monitor setup. They're all on different arms. I get asked a lot of times what arms I use. I think these two are on a brand that I bought in Germany, and this one is on just something else. I really don't have a recommendation at the moment. Maybe one day I'll have something that I really love, but for right now, they're just brands that worked out for me at the time. When I'm streaming, I have my aperture light set up over here, and I have an Elgato key light over here, which I can control with the Stream Deck. The last little accessory that I'm gonna talk about is underneath the desk, and you can't really see it, but it's a USB foot pedal. And I use that foot pedal when I'm streaming so that I can mute or deafen Discord. It helps to be able to switch that back and forth, but I don't want something that I have to do with my hands, because if I'm gaming, then I don't want to deal with that. So I just stomp on that foot pedal, and it takes care of that. The chair that I'm currently sitting in is the Herman Miller Logitech M-Body, and it's a wonderful chair. I do plan on doing a video about it soon. I still use the Secret Lab Titan chair, however, when I want to watch a movie, because this chair is not what I want to sit in if I'm gonna recline and sit back and watch a movie. So the last thing that we need to talk about is the computer. And listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I do not remember everything that's in that computer. Honestly, I hate dealing with computers. I just don't really get into it. It's not something that I'm particularly interested in. So I'm just gonna read from my PC part picker. The CPU is a Ryzen 9 5900X. The cooler is the NZXT Kraken Z7 III. The motherboard used to be an MSI, but that broke, as I already said. So right now it is the, let me see if I can remember this, the Asus ROG Crosshair something. I don't remember. I don't really care. The Corsair RGB memory, I have 32 gigs. I have an internal hard drive, which is 4 terabytes, but then I also have an SSD, which is 1 terabyte. And then my graphics card is the EVGA RTX 3090, which is definitely overkill. And then it's all in the Corsair 5000D airflow case, which I really like because I can put a ton of fans in there. And then to top it all off, a Seasonic 850 power supply. I don't have it on my desk anymore because it was taking up too much space. Now it is on a nice little stand. All of that is plugged into a power supply. If the power ever goes out, or if I have a surge, well then not everything is getting fried. And yeah, that's my desk setup. So I hope you enjoyed checking out my desk with me. I'm so sorry that this video took so long to make. That's totally on me. I can't wait to get this new studio space set up so I can show you that, but you'll just have to wait till next week for, no, I'm not even gonna joke. No, that's not coming next week. Eventually, but not next week. Peace! Nice. You hear the banging? Holy shit! That legit kind of... I was too comfortable.